and welcome. Today in Latinos to Watch, we have Jazmin del Carmen, Ruiz, Reed. Jazmin, welcome. How are you?
Doing good. How are you?
Thank you for accepting our invitation. We are putting together a series of stories of Latinos to watch and Latinos who rock in the hashtag. That's how you're going to find us in social media. Please subscribe to our channel, and you can also follow us by Folklore Latino in Instagram. And some of these stories are really powerful. And this is Hispanic Heritage Month here in the United States. So let's talk a little bit about Jazmin, and you will see why today we are more than honored of have such amazing Latina talking about her journey and a little bit of what she does, not only for herself, but how she brings back to the community. So, Jazmin, I'm going to read a little bit about your bio and feel free to jump in anytime. So, Jazmin del Carmen, she is a regulatory affair at manager at Honeywell. She moved from Houston, Texas to Rochester in 2016, and then she moved to Buffalo, where she currently lives with her husband. And not only that, but she came from a military family. And she born in Germany, she grew up in Texas, her family is from Colón, the Atlantic region in Panama City. So she comes from little different parts of the planet. Since she's been here, she's been dedicated a big amount of time of giving back to the community, no matter where she lives. And she's currently volunteering in various local organizations, and she served in Grupo Cultural Latinos in Rochester Board of Director. So she doesn't take the credit, but behind many of the things that we do, she is the brain. She's the one that is like pulling the pieces together to help us move forward. Jasmine holds a doctorate degree in environmental toxicology and master in public health. Wow! I take my hat off, Jasmine. This is a huge title. Oh my goodness. Tell me a little bit about what motivates you.
So you mentioned that my time in Rochester, I volunteered a lot. I was a member of several organizations, and I still am a member of organizations in Rochester because that's where my heart is in Rochester. So part of the reason I volunteered in the first place was because when I moved to Rochester, I didn't know anybody. So it was my way of getting to know several people, to network. And the second reason, I think it's the biggest reason, was that I found that in Rochester, there was a big disparity between Latinos and as far as income compared to people, white people, people in the suburbs. And it was a big difference, a big disparity, even bigger than what you would see in the South. And you think that in the South, you're gonna have a lot of racial differences, and when you move up north, it's gonna be so bad. But it was, to me, I had the perception that there's bigger differences here, and the reason that we have problems in our community with low income, low education,
Yeah, I know.
and other problems. So I found it as an opportunity to help. I've been so blessed in my life. I've been given several opportunities, and now it's time to give back.
Wow, we really appreciate that. Um, it's definitely amazing. I didn't grow up here, so I also was shocked when I moved here, and the disparity is just out of proportion. I had never seen something like that growing up. I mean, we knew some of the situations, circumstances, socioeconomic circumstances, but here it was completely different. So thank you for sharing that. How was growing up for you? I mean, in the beginning, we mentioned that you were in different places. How was that growing up for you?
It was fun. So I spent a lot of time in Europe. My first 6 years in Europe. So my parents took us everywhere, every country in Europe. We visited Rome, Spain, we went to Portugal, we went to France, and we tried every food. So we grew
Nice.
open to different types of food, and we ate anything and everything. And then when we came here, obviously we weren't used to McDonald's or any fast food, so that was an adjustment too. And then when we moved to Texas, I grew up in a community where a lot of the people were military, so they were used to diversity.
Mhm.
So it was a shock to the system when I moved up here, for sure. But I was exposed to different cultures, different Latinos whose families were also in the military. There was a lot of Latinos in the
Mhm.
military. That was my parents' network in Texas. Everybody who's in the military, Latino, regardless of whatever island, whatever country you came from, they were in our network. And so we grew up with a large family in Texas. Although they weren't our family, they became our family. It was fun. It was diverse. I think the experience with the military, where we moved around a lot, that kind of held with me when I grew up, because I moved all the way to North Carolina, not knowing anybody, for postgraduate work with the EPA. And then I moved up here from Houston, up here to Rochester, just taking the chance, seeing it as a new experience. I didn't have anything to lose, and just take the risk. So I've never been afraid of a challenge or afraid of something unknown, and so far it's worked out.
Oh my goodness, it has been. Um, so talking about careers, everybody normally goes with accomplishment related for career, but for you, what is the biggest accomplishment for you?
Um, the biggest accomplishment is getting married. No, because
Why not?
no, my mom didn't think that was going to happen. So I got married and she was so grateful. But
Oh,
no. My biggest accomplishment so far, I think it's outside of work. It's outside of even getting, a doctorate. It's just being able to make a difference in people's lives here in Rochester. I think that's been the biggest impact that I've had, and so I consider it my biggest accomplishment.
oh, that's powerful. Um, for somebody that haven't met you, I can say that you are one of my top two favorite persons ever. And I know a lot of people. So
I'll
for
give you
me to
some money later on, don't worry.
no, for me to say that it's what makes some person amazing for me. Not only that they are caring, smart, but also the way to connect with others. And you have done that really beautifully, right? You connect with the community, but you also were very active with the work, keeping the balance between because I mean, when I met you, you were in Xerox regulatory toxicology. I hope I pronounced that correct, which is a very stressful and time sensitive work and delicate work, right? But you always have a way to manage that work life very well, which is not easy to do. Um, what advice do you have for persons that they're just starting their careers? And you were also studying, right? That's when you were also finishing your doctorate when you were working? You
No,
got that before, or how was the
I worked.
timeline?
I worked 5 years after I got my bachelor's. I was in the real world working as a teacher, a middle school science teacher. And then after that, I got my graduate degree, and then I worked for the EPA, and then I came up to Rochester. So I've had some work experience before that, but
So managing that time, because something that drives me crazy to no end, and I'm gonna say that, I hope somebody hear me out, but it's like everybody's going crazy. Oh my God, I have no time. I have no time. I have no time. And you always manage to make time to give back, to get the work, to get presentations, to fold presents for a Christmas party celebration, to put together different presentations. I mean, it's something that seems simple, but now that I have met so many people, you really make it look simple, but it's not. So what, and then you always are like relaxed. I'm like pulling my hair out and running like chicken with no head, and you keep it calm. You know what to go, you know the target, you know how to get to point A to point B without getting distracted and just get the job done the right way, the pretty way. How you do that?
um,
Have you always been like that, or?
no, you know what? I've taken on a lot more. I think it's the effect of Rochester. I don't know what it is. I was much lazier when I was before I moved to Rochester, and it's just um, prioritizing what's important and what's not. What I can wait till later. That's been really important, and so that I'm not stressed when I'm at work, or with GCLER or Rotary. It's really understanding priority or not.
Jasmine, um, let's talk little bit about some of the roles here in Rochester volunteering, and one of them has been with the Latino Rotary that we have seen a big bloom since you joined. So, what does this mean for you?
It's meant a lot. I've like I said, my heart is in Rochester because I met a lot of great people, including yourself. But those in the Rotary Club, the Latino Rotary Club in Rochester, they are more than just people that I work with, people that I volunteer with, but they're my friends, they're my family. We have close conversations. But just looking at the legacy of some of these members, they go back generations in Rochester.
Yes.
And that's just admirable in itself, you know. Just the focus that they have on improving the community in the Clinton area. They recognize the disparity. All the members are all dedicated to volunteering. It's not a social club or a way to network. They're in it to help. And
they work hard too.
they do work hard, and they're members of several organizations, not just Rotary. And it's inspiring to me. That's inspiration for me to see how you work, to see how hard they work in several different causes, several different organizations. I don't feel like I do that much compared to them. I do my share, but I like their focuses. They focus on literacy, so a lot of their programs have to do with literacy, not just early childhood literacy, being bilingual, computer literacy, math literacy. They provide within the city that kind of educate people on all of those aspects of literacy, and creating programs that promote inclusion and increasing access to resources to that community. That's an important aspect as well. And then, like I said, just the closeness between the group, just because we share a similar interest in volunteering. That's what Rotary is. You give of yourself as much as you can. You don't expect anything in return. I'm not looking to advance in my career because of Rotary. I'm not looking to increase my network or gain any fame because of Rotary. I do it.
Correct.
I love to do it. And I hope that the little work that I do helps to create some change or helps start the path to change. So
No, absolutely. And if you want to learn, if you guys are from your home and watching this and you want to learn more, in the comments below, you will see the link for the Latino Rotary. They're always looking for volunteers, and they're also are accepting donations to fulfill their activities. So in the link below, in the comments, you will see their link if you wanted to start connecting with them. And as Jasmine say, I mean, bring something positive back. That's always really, really important. Um, uh, Difficult questions. Right now, we are dealing with a lot of turbulence in our country. And let's talk about something that is difficult to talk, which is diversity. What is that means for you that came from a mixed race family?
yeah, well, I am the world in myself. So I did ancestry.com. I found out that I am 30% indigenous from the indigenous people in Central America. 30% in your 30% European, Portuguese, Italian, Swedish, English, and then 10% Chinese, 3% Korean. That's why I like Chinese food. And then about 15% from different African nations. So
Oh my goodness.
I'm the world. So I feel like I can't hate any group and up for every group, make sure that no group is ignored. I'm definitely here for that initiative.
How can we be more diverse if you don't have that mix like you? How you think we can become more diverse and more tolerant to each other? Do you have any idea in your experience that you would like to see different, or that you could advise somebody that it's not that mix?
So for tolerance, I think you have to be open to learning new things, and just being open to learn things that are outside of your bubble, outside of your norm. Be open to that. Go explore, and that increases your tolerance, your education and intelligence about different people, different cultures, and so that you're not ignorant to things that seem so simple to somebody like me, because I've done that. And the second thing I would say is, as far as tolerance, you have to be very vocal. When somebody says something that's considered racist or considered hateful, you have to speak up for yourself and for other people. Don't be afraid to do that. It only increases their education, and hopefully maybe they change their thought.
Absolutely. We're about to conclude today's. Thank you so much for sharing some of your experience and your knowledge with us. I do gonna share some videos and some pictures if you allow me. A little bit of some of recognitions that you have, some of the work that you have done, and a little bit of your life here in Rochester and your diverse family, of course. The last question, this one is going to be fun, right? For all the places that you have been, where is the best place that you have traveled and why? And Panama doesn't count.
Yeah, no, that was number one. I would say Portugal.
Portugal?
Yeah, so I said I was there when I was a kid, but I also went back 2 years ago, and I just loved just the vibe in Europe. You know, it's very,
Mhm.
very casual, and then just being by the water was also nice. And I love seafood, and so there was
Oh,
seafood there. And then, um, you know, they're up at all hours. And
oh, do you know that?
it was a good nightlife too. Um, it was a good experience because of that, and because I was with my brothers. It was a good bonding experience. So I'd say that was my favorite
Absolutely. Jasmine, thank you so much for your time. Thank you for everything that you do for us, for me, for GCLER, for Latino Rotaries, for all the other organizations that you are helping as well. And they're going to be listening in the link below. And now we're leaving you with some photos, some videos. Thank you for watching.